In a shocking and surprising turn of events today, the hockey gods have finally shined down on us. The hockey gods today, they wrote a check and they settled their tab for all the goals that went off people's heads and into our net, and deflections from the weirdest of angles, and pucks that would hit out at the hash marks and go straight up in the air 15 feet and somehow miraculous land right behind Ilya's back and straight into the net. That happened more than once this year. For all of those, and all the podcasts I complained about saying, like, holy cow, man, hockey gods, you've got to show up. You got to pay us. So what the hockey gods decided to do today, they just wrote one big check. And they said, here, we're going to take care of this in one shot. This is for the horrible season that you New York Islander fans had, where our defense scored more goals against Ilya Sorokin than they actually scored against other goaltenders in the NHL. Uh, it's an outstanding day for us. Outstanding day for us. So let me tell you a little bit about how my day went about, and how I found out about the Islanders winning the lottery. So I walk into the room here, into this room, and right up there, right above me, I have a TV, which I watch a lot of hockey from, and then I'll watch some TV. I'm actually filming this on a desktop Mac. So I have my Mac where I watch hockey, and I have my TV up there, and I watch hockey, and it's getting around 4 o'clock, and I'm thinking, oh, there must be some playoff hockey coming on, but it's the Leafs, and I don't want to listen to the sound of the Leafs because the announcers drive me crazy when I'm doing it. And I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I think I'm just going to come in and hop on the old drums today and just play away. And what I'll do is I'll put the game on the TV set and I'll just drum away. And so I can not really pay a whole lot of attention to the game because I'm drumming and I'm enjoying my drumming. So anyway, I flip the TV on and I say, oh, the draft lottery is coming on in 5 minutes. And I go, well, maybe I should watch the draft lottery and then I'll drum after the draft lottery. And then I go, nah, we'll never win it. I'll just do the same thing. I'll hop onto my drums and I'll start playing and I'll watch the draft lottery. Cause I mean, all they do is they flip the cards, go down from the bottom one to the top. Well, wouldn't you know it, this year they go and change the format on me. But anyway, so I'm playing away. I'm playing away at the drums, and I'm starting to see the graphics and everything for it, and they're interviewing the possible guys who might go first overall in the draft between Schaefer, Miser, and Higgins. Anyway, but I'm playing away, and then it shows the graphic shows what the chances are for you winning the lottery, and there's the Islanders at 3.5%, which I already knew, but I'm really more interested in watching this draft to make sure that the Rangers don't win because the Rangers had the luck. They won the draft. They got Lafreniere, and I will never forget. Like, I'll talk about this in our one little bit later. So I'll move back that I'm still talking about the experience of seeing it going down. So anyway, uh, as I'm watching on TV, uh, I see the first number drop, and then they stop, and something's going on. I didn't notice anything at the time, but actually one of the teams had been eliminated from the draft board. I think it was the Flames. Uh, but I didn't notice it at the time because I'm playing the drums. I got the headphones on and everything and that, so I can't hear a word that's going on there. And then so there's a bit of a delay in that, and then there's this 30-second clock. I don't know what that's all about, but I'm waiting for the cards to get flipped, right? Like the 10 drafting in 16th place will be blah blah. Team drafting in 15th, team drafting in 13th, and I just knew that the Rangers were before us, and if the Rangers came up and then the next card that was flipped wasn't the Islanders, that means we won the lottery. But that's just not the way it was going on. So anyway, I'd say the next number gets picked. So first number was 7, one of my new favorite numbers, followed by another one of my new favorite numbers, 11. So we got 7-11. So now I'm thinking, well, maybe I should go get a Slurpee or something. But Anyway, so I'm still playing away. I don't really understand the significance of the numbers. I do figure they're getting the numbers for the team. I know they get allotted a whole bunch of numbers, and you have only so many numbers out of 1,000. I believe the Islanders had 35 out of 1,000 numbers. So that was how our chances of winning were. So or was it 35? Yeah, 35 out of 1,000. So anyway, the two numbers drop, and I'm kind of looking at the board, and I say, all of a sudden, I see I'm playing the drums and going, "Wait, yeah," and I see the Rangers kind of blotted out, like their names dulled and that, and I go, "Oh, did are the Rangers eliminated from getting first overall pick?" And then I start looking around the board, and all of a sudden I see number three Nashville is eliminated from it, and I'm going, what the no, in the second round it was all the five teams that couldn't get the first overall pick. They were all gone, and I think Nashville was gone too, and which really shocked me and kind of got me up. And I all of a sudden then a third number gets picked, and it's number 12. Another one of my favorite numbers. It was my one of my football numbers I wore as when I quarterbacked in high school back in Calgary. So I love that number. So 7, 11, 12. These are my new favorite numbers. And all of a sudden I'm still playing away on the drums and whatnot, and I look up and I see there's a whole bunch of names that are blotted out, but the Islanders aren't one of them. And I'm going, so I'm playing the drums and I'm starting to count the teams that aren't blotted out. And there's seven teams not blotted out. And then I see seven GMs in that, and I going, what the hell is going on? I Are the Islanders still in contention for this first overall pick? And all of a sudden, and I see the graphic there, and I see the seven teams not highlighted, but then also there's a percentage beside him. And all of a sudden, we've got a percentage of 18.1%. And I go, how in the hell did we go to 18.1%? And then I take a look around, and there's three other teams with 18.1%. And the San Jose Sharks only have an 8% chance of winning. I go, what the hell is going on here? So this definitely has my attention. And then I see another little bar beside it. The next number drafted will get first overall. And this is the numbers your teams need. And right by the New York Islanders, it says number 5 and number 13. And I'm drumming away, and I'm thinking to myself, oh man, that's so appropriate. Denny Potvin, let's do it for Denny Potvin. Come on, number 5. Come on, number 5. And then I thought to myself, nope, you know what? Number 13, Matt Barzell needs the help of a first overall draft pick right about now. So how about number 13 come up? And I'm drumming away, and all of a sudden there goes the countdown clock again. And then all of a sudden I see the ball come up, and it's plain as day. It's plain as day. It's 1-3, 13. And I'm like, all of a sudden I just stop playing drums, and I'm looking at it, and I still can't hear anything, but nothing's happening on the TV. Nobody's doing nothing. Now all of a sudden there's three guys looking at a bunch of paperwork and whatnot going on. And I'm thinking to myself, I thought you said if 5 or 13 would have been done, we won. And then all of a sudden I see the New York Islander thing go up, and I go, oh my God, how anticlimactic was that? And then poof, all of a sudden the drumsticks go flying. I get off the drum kit, I run to the TV, and I rewind it all the way back to the start, because now I want to watch this show, and I want to savor it. So the hockey gods, they write the check. They said, for all the shitty bounces and everything we gave you all year, and all the shitty games we made you watch, and all the times that the Islanders couldn't score a goal to save their life, they would hit posts and do whatever. This is our big payoff for the year. And boy, what a payoff it was. What a great way to end the year for us. It is so nice to finally have something go in the Islanders' direction. Just going to take a little sip of, have a little bit of a drink here, and be right back. Getting a little perched. I'm so excited. So this will be the fifth time the New York Islanders draft first overall. And the very first time it was in our inaugural expansion season. And we got Billy Harris. Wasn't, Billy was a good hockey player. He was solid. I don't know, star is the right word. Maybe just a level below star was Billy Harris, but maybe in some seasons you could have put him in as a star. But anyway, the Islanders sucked so much that we had the worst record ever in the history of the NHL in 73, which got us Dennis Potvin. These are the days of no lottery. And so with a no-brainer of a pick, we take Denny Potvin and our from that moment in time right there, this franchise direction changed. And Denny was the pick, which kind of correlates with what we're going to talk about a little bit later here with our possibilities of who our selections could be for that first overall pick. So there we go. We got Dennis Potvin. He leads the way to 4 cups for the New York Islanders. There's no doubt about it. He was a great captain, great leader, one of the best defensemen ever to play the game of hockey. Bone crushing checks. I saw him beat up so many people in Ottawa when he played for the Ottawa 67s. As a 16-year-old, he beat up this 20-year-old guy from the Toronto Marlies, and he gave him 2 black eyes, broken nose, broken collarbone, and over 40 stitches in a fight. And Denny was 16 years old, and the other kid was 20. Now, the difference between a 16-year-old boy and a 20-year-old man is huge. And to watch Denny manhandle that guy like that, it was unbelievable. So anyway, that was our second one. So now we're getting to the draft lottery. And uh the draft lottery with the Islanders has been a bit of a fickle bitch. It has been very good to us and it has been very bad to us at the same time. And I could think of no worse time than when it looked like everything helped us that it hurt us so bad. By winning the lottery, we ended up selecting Rick DiPietro and set off a whole chain of events, which just set our franchise in the completely wrong direction. What we could have had at that time. Let me just sort of set up a little bit what happened here. The Islanders have sucked for 7 years and haven't made the playoffs. They're finally accumulating some good young pieces. We have a future Hall of Fame goaltender in Roberto Luongo as a rookie, and we got Eric Brewer, a possibly really stud kind of defenseman coming up. We got Olli Jokinen, a young kid who's looking great. If we do not pick Rick DiPietro in that draft and stick and take the 1 or 2 guys who was supposed to go first. They weren't sure who, but take your pick. You would have done well with either Marian Gaborik or Danny Heatley. And all of a sudden, the Islanders just got a whole lot stronger. And then we made the wrong selection. We had 5th overall pick too, and we took Raffi Torres. Scott Hartnell went 6th overall, right after Raffi Torres. You take Danny Heatley and Scott Hartnell and put him on that 2000 team. And all of a sudden, you've got the makings of a young up and coming team. But that threw us back so far. We traded away a 40-goal scorer in Olli Jokinen, a Hall of Fame goaltender in Roberto Luongo for a goaltender that caused us mostly misery, with the exception of maybe a 2-year period where we could hang our hat on him being a half decent goaltender. So, there's where it was fickle, but then no more fickle the next year when instead of winning the lottery, uh, we lost the lottery. And I think losing the lottery hurt us more. Well, winning the lottery definitely hurt us by picking DiPietro. I don't know uh, who we would have got, but if we had a won lottery and not to be a DiPietro, we would have been so much better off. But the next year was the killer because Kovalchuk was the prize next year, and in second place would have been Jason Spezza. So Spezza was one of those kids that was, as a 13-year-old, everybody knew who he was and was projected. This kid's going to go first overall in the NHL. However, a young Russian kid by the name of Kovalchuk, dynamic kid, kind of took over at the end of the draft year, and it was devastating for Islander fans. We wanted Kovalchuk bad. There was reports Mike Milbury outside the in their arena in the halls, kicking garbage cans and everything. He was so ticked off. Uh, However, that kind of helped spur us out because that ended up making the decision that he wasn't happy in getting Spezza, which is too bad. We would have been fine if we had kept Spezza. So if you think back just a year earlier, keep Luongo, keep Ole Jokinen, have Danny Heatley, and Jason Spezza, we're going to start turning into a pretty good team. We're going to start turning into a pretty good team. But no, no, we have to trade that away, and it was all just a mess. But we did make the trade for Spezza. Is at the time we needed to make that trade because we hadn't made the playoffs in so long, and we got Yashin, and then we got Pekka, and then our fortune turned around. But the problem was it was a short term solution and we needed the long-term solution, which we had the team that could have been set up for long-term, and we just pissed it away. Just absolutely pissed it away. We got a couple good years of playoffs with those guys. Never really 100% threat to win the cup. Maybe we could have won it the year that us and the Leafs went at it in that year when we lost Pekka and Johnson in the playoffs. That might have done it. So there we go with that, and we got our third pick in Di Pietro as the first overall pick, and then we end up in the Tavares Hedman situation. This is what's going to kind of remind me a little bit about this year once I start talking about the players. So with our fourth first overall pick, we take John Tavares. Now, I will say to this day, and I will stick to my guns and say at that time, that was the right pick. However, once again, long-term solution. Hedman would have been the better pick for this team. You win with defense. We learned that early in our franchise with Dennis Botman. You build around a D-man. Tampa built around Hedman. They got themselves a couple of cups. We built around Tavares. But the reason I will say that it was the right move at the right time is because we had been such a pitiful team. We couldn't even score goals. We couldn't even score goals. Once a goal or two was scored against us, the game was over. So we had no excitement on the team or anything. This franchise needed a face of the franchise, and this kid being touted breaking Gretzky's goal scoring records, and that was exactly what this franchise needed at that time. Turns out though, in revisionist history and well, not revisionist history, but hindsight being 2020, I believe it was the wrong pick. We would have went in a way better direction if we had have went with Hedman instead of Tavares. So that is going to bring us to talking about what's to come for this year, because basically what's happening is uh, we got the projection of four guys that we can kind of pick from here. This is pretty kind of exciting stuff. So it wasn't really paying a lot of attention to it until today. We have a lot of opportunities here. There are a lot of opportunities, and one of the reasons I say there's a lot of opportunities is that we could trade back. We could trade back as well. We have that option as well. This we're kind of playing with house money right now because we're nine spots further up the totem pole than we should be. So we're here to pick first overall. However, you don't want to give away a first overall pick. So you got four guys that the so-called experts are talking about. Okay, at the start of the year was James Higgins. He's a Long Island boy. Uh, Family are Islander fans. This is something we've been dreaming about for a long time as Islander fans, and we've wanted this for a long time. And I think it's because our egos are bruised with Tavares running home to his favorite team, and we just kind of wish that we had a really star hockey player that kind of loved Long Island and wanted to be here so bad and bled orange and blue so much for us. But The problem is Higgins, like I said, at the start of the year, he was projected to be the first overall pick. However, he has dropped as the season went on, and most pundits have him down now around third. So uh, he's a smallish hockey player too. I know I shouldn't be scared about that, especially in today's game, because there are a hell of a lot of good hockey players that are small. But we don't want to be getting too small. We already got a guy like Cole Eiserman in that. You can't. It's kind of like the Montreal Canadiens. I mean, it's great to keep drafting that talent. You got a Suzuki and you've got a Cole Caulfield, but they're kind of small. They're kind of small, and that could hurt. You need some big boys up there and whatnot. So I can see why Higgins may have dropped back a bit. And like I said, most pundits right now they seem to have him at number three right now. So Michael Miza, who I think was the fifth player in OHL history to get exceptional status for himself as a young kid to play in the OHL at the age of 15. I think the last player to get that exceptional status was John Tavares. So I don't know. Maybe we want to avoid that. First question to all four of these guys is who's your favorite team? And if any of your Leaf fans, go to hell. But anyway, Mize had a great season in the OHL, 134 points, 62 goals, and 72 assists. And he moved from wing to center this year. So obviously, the Islanders had their challenges scoring some goals this year, so it might be a route that you might want to think about going, and that could be it. However, the cream of the crop, it seems, and he took over fairly early in the season from Higgins was Matt Schaefer, a Canadian boy who only played like the first period of the World Junior Championships. I was looking so forward to seeing this kid play because I'd heard so much about him. And the one period of play that I saw, he looked great. But then he got injured, was out for the season, had mono as well. Only played like 17 games all year in that. And that's always a risk when you're, especially when you're going to be using a first overall pick. However, nothing seems to have discouraged any of the scouts from pulling him away from first overall pick. So I'm thinking that maybe, this is the way to go. Are we in the Hedman Tavares situation again? Like, do we go with Miza, the goal scoring guy? And there's no guarantee he's going to carry it over into the NHL either. Or do we go with the slow burn with the defenseman? And in most cases, most defensemen are a slow burn. Like, look at Dobson. Dobson was a slow burn until he started developing and whatnot. There's very few like Makar and Quinn Hughes and even the Hudson kid coming out that just immediately jump in and are making it happen. So Schaefer might be a little more patience. That's all. But for me, as I talked about early in this podcast, I think we made an error by not drafting Hedman over Tavares. But like I said, at the time, it was the right thing to do. But I don't think this is the time to make that same mistake. And let's be honest about it. Like, championships are built on defense. And all of a sudden, our defense just all of a sudden the boom that it takes, you put Schaefer on there, and now Dobson's your second big D man, and that's huge. That's huge. And I mean, just take a look at the teams who've won cups. Like, they've all had their shining stars on defense. I mean, you had Duncan Keith and whatchamacallit on his side there. I can't remember his name right off the bat here. But as a combo, you had Doughty when the Kings were going. You had Letang when the Penguins were going. You had Makar when Colorado was winning. You had Hedman going when Tampa was winning. It's just a crucial piece. It's a crucial piece to a championship. I mean, I could go on and on and on. And Seabrook was his name. Brent Seabrook. I forgot. That's terrible. The old memory's gone. So anyway, I think. And there's also Martone. Martone is probably ranked number four of the bunch. He had a 98-point season in the OHL this year, but he is 6'2", 208 pounds, and he is the biggest person of the bunch. However, I should mention. Matt Schaefer is also listed at 6'2", 180 pounds. However, I've already heard that he's already grown an inch since that was put out. So he's now 6'3". He's 180 pounds is a boy body, and that's going to turn into 200 pounds of man Hulk in a year and a half or so. So I definitely think that Schaefer might be the route that this team might want to go. So I'm really interested in what Islander fans think. Who do you think we should go for? Do we go for the home kid? There's also other possibilities if you want to throw this in. The San Jose Sharks. The Sharks right now, they have two first rounders this year. They have two first rounders next year. They have two second rounders this year. They have two second rounders next year. They have two fourth rounders this year and next year. And yeah, so they have lots of assets if you want to trade back. Like if you want to go, like say, okay, kind of come to saying, okay, yeah, we know Schaefer's the best player in the draft. However, we want to do this for our fan base. And so you grab something good and you move back a couple of spots or just one spot and take your guy then. And you know what? You still may end up getting the best player in the draft. You just don't know. You just don't know. So there's always that. So really exciting times right now. So yeah, so you've got the possibility of trading back. I don't think that we should do that. We have been given a gift, just a huge gift. You take what you can get. I say we take this, use it. It 100% changes everything on the plan for rebuild or retool. I mean, this just puts everything so much further ahead. I mean, if you think about it, we were the 22nd best team in the NHL last year, and we're getting the best player. Uh, as a hockey player, even the guy getting drafted has got to be happy with that, not going to a bottom feeder right off the bat. Like we can turn this thing around in a hurry now. It's all of a sudden starting to look really good. It was looking really bleak. So I just want to say that left us Lou Lamoriello left us sitting in a good situation. He made a great trade for Brock Nelson, got us Callum Ritchie, who looks like he's going to be a future player for the New York Islanders. He drafted Cole Eiserman for us, another guy that looks like he's going to be a solid player for us. He kept Palms and Pajot around, I guess, guys that will help us next year. Don't forget, we didn't have Barzell this year. We lost Brock Nelson because of the trade, but that's okay. Now all of a sudden we've got a first round pick coming in. We've still got our core. We've got Barzell coming back. So we're hitting the ground running. We're hitting the ground running for sure. A whole lot better. It looks a whole lot better now than it did 5 months ago. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that. And what a great way to get first overall pick by not tanking. That's just fantastic. I told my friends on the message board, I told them, I said, like when they were cheering for some people were cheering for losses, and I get it. I get it. You want your better chance of in the lottery and try to win the lottery in that. But I said to them, I said, don't wish yourself out of a position. That happened to me one year when the New Jersey Devils got Nico Hershiser. We passed. The Devils on the last game of the season. We went into 10th spot and we were in 11th and bumped Jersey back to 11th and New Jersey won the lottery and they got Nico Hershiser. So watch out what you wish for, especially when it comes to lottery. So I just say let the chips fall where they may and just hope for the best that the numbers fall your way, which is fantastic. It's great to see that. I'm so happy that the Rangers finally didn't win for a change and luck smiled on us. It feels like a big payback for a real crappy year that we had. So lots to look forward to. I guess I should probably talk a little bit about Lou Lamoriello here. Okay, so I never did a video on Lou being let go, but it's not really a whole lot to talk about because let's be honest, the Lou Lamoriello thing had kind of run its course. 100%. I love what Lou did for this franchise. He brought respectability back to it. We're still respectable because of him. We've got a new arena. We got so many more things going on because Lou Lamoriello was a general manager of the New York Islanders. It was a little frustrating with the stupid rules, with the haircuts and all that kind of stuff and whatnot. I get it. I played in that era. I did that, all that kind of stuff. I lived under those set of rules. Every hockey player lived under those set of rules, but times have changed and whatnot. But Lou had us competitive. He brought us to the Eastern Conference final twice, and that has been a long time since that had happened. I believe 1984, 1985 would have been the last time we even got a sniff of the conference finals. So back to back runs to the conference final by Lou was just a fantastic thing. But like I said, I just do think that time had kind of passed him by. He he hung on to a team a little bit too long that really had no chance of probably winning the cup. So, if that would have been his one bad thing that he did, but like I said, he left us in good hands. He got a great trade from the Brock Nelson thing. Let's be honest, Brock wasn't going to sign here next year. He's going to Minnesota. I'm almost 100% sure, but. Who knows? Maybe he does sign here next year. I highly doubt it, but either way, it was a great trade because now we got Callum Ritchie because of it, and we got Cole Eiserman, up and coming sniper. So there's first overall pick. Will it be a D man? Will it be an offensive guy? We don't know yet, and we shall find out, which will be awful exciting. So like I said, overall, I guess the last 2, 3 years of Lou were kind of frustrating, but he got us Barry Trotz and that was huge, right from the get-go. And he was dealt a bad hand with Tavares leaving right off the bat. That didn't help, but Lou had no problem adjusting and got us right into the playoffs right off the bat, and we did better than at least for the first 4 or 5 years of Tavares's contract with Toronto. So overall, nothing but good thoughts about Lou on this one, and I wish him the best. I do think that it's unfortunate for us with this draft coming up, the position that we don't have a person in charge yet. Still time, but it's time to get moving. Unless it's somebody familiar like a Kenny Holland or somebody like that can just step in with ease, kind of the way Lamoriello did in 2018. But Lou just kind of went hands back and kind of said, "You guys do what you do," and he did the right thing because we drafted Dobson and Wallstrom at the time, who were both big scores for us that we needed at that time. So he didn't trade away the picks and whatnot. So you never know what the new guy's going to do, right? So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting from listening to Kenny Morrow talk tonight. I kind of got the feeling they already have a decision. They already know who's going to be the general manager in that. I think they know a lot about the direction of the franchise is going right now. So yeah. So that's pretty much it for Islander news, but pretty darn exciting for a day that I just thought was just going to be a lame ass day and watch the Islanders go. I expected to see the flipping cars, didn't see the flipping cars, trying to figure that thing out on the TV as it was going along. It was kind of crazy. And then when I saw that number 13 pop up the tube, and I'm just staring at it as I'm playing the drums, I'm going, we needed 5 or 13. That's 13. So that can only mean one. Holy shit. We just won the lottery. So it was a very disappointing season this year. This season took a lot out of me. It really did, especially with the podcast and whatnot. It's very difficult to come on right after a game after your team blows like 3 goal leads in the third period and stuff like that. It's taxing on you. It's hard as a fan, but then to pop on and talk about it after each game is kind of it's kind of harsh. And it was a rough year, and this this was so unexpected and such a shot in the arm for the New York Islanders. And I'm so happy for this franchise. I just hope we make the right pick. I I don't know enough about the players. I don't know enough about the players. I mean, I saw Higgins in the World Juniors. He looked pretty good, but like I said, he's small, so I don't really remember anything from Misa or Martone. But Schaefer, I was looking forward to seeing, but I only saw him play one period of hockey. For me, the best direction is to go with what all the pundits are saying, especially because it's a defenseman. If it was the other way around, I might be thinking differently. Do you know what I mean? Because that Hedman Tavares situation. But since it's the defenseman that everybody thinks is the number one guy, is the reason why I think why we should go for it. Because I just talked about how championships are built on defensemen, and every Stanley Cup championship team has some defensive studs on it. If not one, two, or three, sometimes even four. You go back to the Montreal Canadiens with Guy Lapointe, Serge Savard, and all those guys, man. Larry Robinson, like, I mean, defense is where it's at. So I guess as of right now, I'm without much knowledge. I am hoping that we are going to have the two Matts lead the way for us. Matt Barzell on the offense and Matt Schaefer on the point, leading the New York Islanders for the next decade. And that is what I'm hoping for. And I'm hoping for so much better season next year. And I know if it's Schaefer, the odds are we may not see a significant improvement immediately because of him, where you could maybe with an offensive kid, but not that much either. You got to remember they're still going to be 19 years old, so you can't have expectations too high. However, I do know odds are all first overall picks seem to make the team. We're going to be a better hockey team next season because of this player. So anyway, a pretty exciting day for the New York Islanders. I guess I've babbled on too much about it already. Probably nobody going to want to watch this podcast with the Islanders being eliminated and already knowing that we won first overall pick, but this is exciting. Don't blow it, Islanders. Don't blow it, man. Just make the right pick. Do the right thing. I do it. Like we need a change. We need a different direction. We need some hope. We need some hope. And all I can say is, it's funny how things work. I suffered through four losses to the New York Rangers this year, and not just losses, but pummeled, pummeled by the Rangers. And that's every Islander fan's worst nightmare. But because of each and every one of those pummelings, got us first overall pick today. And not only that, it knocked the Rangers back behind us. And then to make matters worse, Utah goes and wins the second part of the lottery, which drops the Rangers back even another position. They had 11th pick going into today, and they walked out with 12th. So great to see things finally going our way in that. As you can see, it's put a smile on my face. I'm pretty happy about it, and enough to make me babble on. I don't even know how long I've been talking, maybe 40 minutes, an hour or something. Which this will definitely probably be my longest just shooting the shit kind of podcast. So anyway, lots of things to talk about. Please leave lots of comments down below. Like who do you want? Who do you want to pick? Do you want the defense? Do you want the forward? What should we do? Do you want to trade back? Do you want to is Higgins our guy all the way? Or yeah, just let me know your thoughts below. What route would you go? I know we don't have a lot of information to go on, and probably not a whole lot of us had a lot of background information going in today about the draft picks, because we just know good things don't seem to happen to the New York Islanders. So I don't think any of us were expecting us to take first overall pick. So at that, I'm going to end it right there. That's where I'm going to stop it. I'm telling you, I could talk another 2 hours about this. I really could. But anyway, I hope all you guys and girls out there, y'all take care, and peace out.